God goals. And she tells us basically that we shouldn't be afraid to go after the things that we believe we want in our life, even if it doesn't work out, even if we fail, even if it feels as though, oh, it's not worth it. If God has placed a dream in your heart, if God has placed a vision in your heart, pursue it, continue to pursue it, and see what happens as a result of it. So she talks about God goals and stepping outside of the boat. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So for today, I want to talk about a book that I read that I think is a really great book for women. And especially since it's July, we've like sort of started the second half of the year. So I feel like this book is really motivational and it's like a really great self-help book for women to sort of like recognize what are their goals and like how to pursue the things that they are passionate about, right? And the book is written by Sarah Jakes Roberts. Sarah Jakes actually has a new book out called Power Moves, but I want to just focus on this book today because especially since we are in the second half of the year, many people are thinking about their goals or whether they should even continue to pursue their goals. They're even trying to figure out how things have been going so far. So I feel like this book, even though I read it just last year, I feel like this is a book that women can pick up and read anytime to just be encouraged and motivated to pursue the things they are passionate about. I believe that she wrote it around like COVID season, but like I said, I feel like this is a book that you can read and reread just to encourage yourself to be more aware about like what are your goals, what are your purpose, how do you sort of like go beyond the self-limiting thoughts that are stopping you from going after the things that you care about. So I really think that this is a great book. As you people know, I'm like obsessed with TD Jakes as like a pastor, as a preacher. And I think that their whole family, they're just doing some amazing things. And I'm really glad that I can like follow Sarah Jakes and learn from her. Like she has so many amazing things that she does as a pastor and as an author. So today I'm just going to be telling you just three of my favorite lessons from Woman Evolve for you to read. The first lesson that I like is that she talks about thoughts. You people know that I'm all about thoughts because I feel like once you get your thoughts right, once you get your thinking right, it affects everything you do in life. It affects how you function. And Sarah Jakes Roberts also believes the same thing. Now, on page 24, she talks about thoughts and she said, we spend a lot of time talking about external forces working against us. But I want to challenge you to consider that perhaps your greatest enemy lies between your ears. Have you ever considered that your mind could be working against you and not for you? If your thoughts aren't helping you become wiser, more compassionate, focused, and disciplined, then what is it making you become? The serpent doesn't need to use any of the fancy tricks depicted in the movies because the power of this one question is enough for Eve's mind to start inching further away and further away from God's vision for her life. So I feel like this is a really great lesson because I always talk about thoughts, and especially as you're going towards the second half of the year, you have to really try to examine your thoughts as much as you're thinking about, oh, what the future lies ahead, what you're going to do about your goals and your dreams. You have to really examine your thoughts. What are your thoughts telling you? Are your thoughts being compassionate towards you? Are your thoughts being kind towards you? Are your thoughts telling you that, oh, you're not going to get to where you want to be? Oh, you're going to be a failure? Or are your thoughts telling you that you have strength in God, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, that you can go after the things you want, that you can start over, that you can have the life you dream about? I feel like when you are going after your goals and when you are even considering what you want to do with your life, you have to first question your thoughts. And that's something that I continuously do as I go after all my passion projects and things that I'm passionate about. I have to keep examining my thoughts and encouraging myself to let myself know that what I dream about and what I envision is possible and it is also God's dream for me. So as you're in this second half of the year, really question what your thoughts are telling you. Are your thoughts telling you that you can go after the things you want and have the life you want? Or are your thoughts telling you that things will always be the same? Now, one of my second favorite lessons from Woman Evolved is on the chapter of Eyes Wide Open. And here she just talks about going after opportunities and going after opportunities in a positive light and sort of seeing that, envisioning that the opportunities that are in your life are always going to benefit you. Like there's always a lesson in each opportunity, not something that's going to hold you back, but there's something that's going to help you to go forward to become more of the person that God has designed you to be. So, one of the things that she says is comparing what I see to what God sees shows up differently when I'm looking at an opportunity versus a person. When a person is involved, it's easier to get a gauge on their hearts, but when it's an opportunity, it's not always so straightforward. I make it a habit to ask myself, who will I have to become in order to pursue this opportunity? And is that person closer to or further away from who I'm supposed to be in God? A deal may be lucrative, but if it requires me to sacrifice my relationships, morals, and characters, it is the devil in disguise. And then she now goes on to say, when we are comparing opportunities from our perspective versus God, we must be willing to recognize that not every opportunity, no matter how good it looks on paper, is an opportunity that will produce the best version of ourselves. The right opportunity will not destroy the life God has given you, but it may change your life. Change and destruction are not the same thing, but change can become destruction if we don't navigate it with wisdom. The right opportunity may mean you have to strategize with the village around you to facilitate an environment for the opportunity to prosper. But if God is in the opportunity, when He's already buried provision to bring it to pass in your present moment. Now, I really like this statement because it's always something that I say. Like I talk about praying that God's will in your life, that what you want for your life will align with God's will for your life. And I believe she's saying the same thing also about opportunity, that when we are going after different opportunities, we have to put wisdom into it. Like we have to pray and we also have to consider, okay, does this align with who I want to become? Does this align with what God tells me is the right plan for my life? Does this opportunity make me feel as though this is the right step to take in my life? So I feel like whenever you are going after opportunities or thinking about things that you can do in order to change or better your life, you always have to pray. You always have to pray for God's direction and God's wisdom to make sure that you are making the right decision and the right steps that you are taking is going to lead you to where you want to be. And it's even going to lead you closer to God and not further away from God, because we always want to pursue things that we know are aligned with God's will for our life and will help us to continue to grow and strengthen us in our faith in God. So this second half of the year, as Sarah Jake says, consider the opportunities and make sure that you are pursuing the right opportunities that are in line with what God wants you to do in your life. Now, my third favorite thing that Sarah Jakes tells us is about God goals. And she tells us basically that we shouldn't be afraid to go after the things that we believe we want in our life, even if it doesn't work out, even if we fail, even if it feels as though, oh, it's not worth it. If God has placed a dream in your heart, if God has placed a vision in your heart, pursue it, continue to pursue it, and see what happens as a result of it. So she talks about God goals and stepping outside of the boat. She says this unique approach to innovation provides some balance as to why making God laugh with your plans isn't something you have to avoid at all costs. While your mind is busy producing, creating, and planning, don't allow the idea that your plan may not pan out the exact way you have in mind to keep you from producing at all. She also goes on to say, don't allow the fear of what other people think keep you from spreading your wings. What you are called to do may be different from the circle around you. No one but you and God may understand that for some time, but what matters is that you and God have that understanding. And I love this. I love this statement because it encourages all women to know that as you are going after your goals and your dreams, even if it seems as though, oh, I don't know whether this thing is going to work out, I don't even know whether this thing is worth it, you just have to continue to believe that if God has placed it in you, then it will come to pass. That there's a reason that you want to pursue that dream and goal, and not allowing the fear of failure to stop you. And also not allowing the fear of what other people might think, because not everybody can get to see your dream and vision. Not everybody might understand what you're passionate about or why you're pursuing the things that you're pursuing. But as long as you and God have an understanding, as long as you are in great communication with God, then you know that as long as God knows that this is what I want to do, and I've prayed to Him and He's giving me direction and guidance, why should that stop me from pursuing what I want to pursue? She talks about even if the plan may not pan out the way you have it in mind, because to be honest, God always has His own special, unique plan and vision for each of our lives. So even if these things don't work out the way we think it will work out, as long as we continue to be in communication with God, and going after what we want in spite of the fears, in spite of what people might be saying about us. That is one of the ways for you to pursue God goals. So those are just my 3 favorite things from Woman Evolve. And let me know, have you read Woman Evolve? What are some of your favorite lessons from this book? I definitely like to know your thoughts in the comment section. If you haven't yet, do like this video. Definitely give this video a like. If you haven't yet subscribed, do subscribe. Do subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on my next video. Take care.